How Zach is getting 6 new pay in full clients every single week with a $416 CAC using what we call the 7-figure laydown sales funnel. Now, Zach is closing above 66% right now in a saturated niche in Cairo without guaranteeing $1 million on your money back. In fact, we're making 0 guarantees and we only have 1 setter and 1 closer. You can see right here, this is a video from Zach. Let me go ahead and play it so you guys know it's real. And you can see also right here that he's saying that this is a true system to get the 8 figures. Let's go ahead and play it.
Shout out to Caleb and Michael. We just closed out a record week here at TB. Did about 30K in new business cash, 45K in contracted.
That was in 1 single week without any crazy guarantees. I'm going to show you guys how we did that in this video. I'm going to break down A to Z exactly what we did. You can see right here, here's some more proof before we get into the sauce. 88K cash collected in February. You can see right here March 3rd. 20K net. And also on top of that, 8K. So 28K in the pocket for Zach. And you can see right here, back-to-back pay in fulls, 11K pay in full, basically 12K, 6K pay in full, 18 in the bag, pay in full, cash collected, and new sales without any crazy, stupid guarantees. Now, let me be clear. Zach did not start here. He worked his entire life to build a 7-figure agency. He was getting great client results and had a 30-person team. But despite all of this, he was still struggling to crack a system that can consistently get him more appointments and more sales. And on the surface, he was doing all the right things. He was running an irresistible offer. I mean, come on. This man was guaranteeing 150K, guaranteed. And he also went on PR to promote this offer. Number 2 is he was spending 10K a month on ads. He was spending ads on Google and on Facebook. And number 3, he was running cold emails. He was doing outbound. He was taking the volume game. And so he was doing all the right things, being sales focused, pushing sales. Yet he was still seeing a high CAC, a high CPL, low show percentage, low close percentage, low cash collected, and overall just low quality prospects who just were very skeptical, had no trust, and he was still being compared to the 17-year-old agencies out there. And so I remember the moment clearly when Zach came to me. He's just like, dude, I'm burnt out. We're doing all these things, and it's still not working. And so how did Zach go from literally pulling out his hair and frustrated internally to now closing 6 new clients every single week without making any guarantees or irresistible offers? And most of the sales, if not all of the sales, are all laydowns. He used what we call the 7-figure laydown sales funnel. Now, this is the #1 way to drastically lower CAC for an agency. It books way more qualified appointments, higher volume, faster, better, increases show rate, increases closing rate. The main difference is that it creates a laydown sales effect where prospects literally hop on and they buy within 15, 20 minutes. And it creates a line of customers wanting to work with Zach. You can see right here, he had 11K PIF, 5K PIF. There's a lot of testimonials I can show you there, but we will save time. This was his calendar before, so this is even with a guarantee about 2-3 months ago. And this is now, you can see right here, March. Last week, we were able to do 39K cash collected, 44K new revenue, 1 setter, 1 closer. The great thing is that there's no guarantee, and most of these calls that were closes were laydown sales. Now, this is going to be for you if you're an agency above 50K a month and you have a great product that's actively and consistently getting client results. What we're going to cover in this video, if you watch the entire thing, is that we're going to go into the truth of why you're not able to get consistent qualified appointments at a scalable cost. And it's actually a human psychology principle I'm going to break down here. Why Zach will never lead with a crazy offer or a crazy guarantee, money back, ever again. The one simple change that we made for Zach to bring CAC down to 416, a very saturated niche, and we're cash collecting at least $6,000 per deal, and why your lead quality sucks. Okay, so why is the outbound guy? I was considered the outbound guy for a lot of agencies, right? And I was the appointment coach for the biggest agency coaching program out there. And so I've helped a lot of people with their acquisition, a lot of 7-figure agencies. And after spending a lot of money on ads and booking a lot of appointments, 1,000 plus, I realized that the old model of getting appointments and new clients is completely dead. And I had to pivot. And I'm going to talk about what the real problem was. Before working with us, Zach thought his problem was just making a better guarantee, making a more irresistible offer, spending more on ads, and building a better sales process. And he did that for the past year before working with us. But that's still, even though he did all of that and pushing a sales team and trying to rip ads and trying to make a better, crazier, bolder guarantee, it still led to a high CAC, a high cost per appointment, and a low closing rate. And so why was that the case, right? Why was he doing all of the things that he thought was going to get him more sales and appointments, but still seeing a high CAC? And it's because none of these actually address the real problem. And the real problem that no one is talking about is what I call offer fatigue. Now, let me explain. The old methods used to work, but not today, right? You used to be able to run Facebook ads 5 years ago, rip cold emails, rip cold calls, make irresistible offers, put some cool creatives and direct offer with no content, and not even have to build trust, and you would still close a lot of new clients, right? And the reason for this, why it worked, And why it does it now was because trust was high, right? We didn't have as many businesses that had a bad experience from these poor agencies, right? And saturation was low. There wasn't as many agency owners as there are today. But the thing is, times have changed, right? We're entering what I call offer fatigue, and this is the current state of the market. And your favorite coaches are going to hate me for telling you this, but I'm going to tell you anyways, right? The gurus and coaches for agency owners created way more agency owners, probably 10,000 plus, 20,000 plus more, right? And they all taught these agency owners to go to the ad library, rip cold email, cold call, and bombard with these crazy irresistible offers. And you guys have seen it. Pay per close, pay per lead, all of these guarantee 100 clients walking in your door in the next 5 minutes, right? So your market, your prospects have now seen 100 plus different offers, right? And it's now offer fatigue, right? So they're seeing way too many options. And to make matters worse, they've been burnt by a lot of these agencies that promised irresistible offers but didn't deliver. So that's two things. In offer fatigue, there's way too much saturation. And also on top of that, there's a trust factor, which now is at an all-time low because they've been burned so many times. And then two, there's something called loss aversion, which is the pain of losing is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining, which means that your prospects have already tried these agencies in the past. They've been burned. And so it doesn't matter how crazy of a guarantee you make, how crazy your offer is, how good you are at sales. If they believe that you are the same as any other agency, which is what they're doing, and they've been burned in the past, they will not become a lead and they will definitely not sign. Because of that, it doesn't matter how crazy of a better offer you make, doesn't matter how much volume, how much money you spend, doesn't matter how good you are at sales. The root problem is that we're in offer fatigue. And that means that your market doesn't see you as unique. So when you come out with a crazy guarantee, you just look like everybody else. You look like the entire market. And I showed you, go to the ad library, there's 100 different offers, all guaranteeing the same thing. So you're not seen as unique, and prospects don't believe in you because they've been burned in the past. And they don't believe in your solution because they tried what you are offering to do for them, but it didn't work. And so for that reason, they don't want to go with you. Right? Only solution to actually fix the core issue, the root problem of all of this, is you must find a way to be different, unique, and not be like 100 different agencies. If you run crazy offers, irresistible offers, you're being drowned in the noise, right? So you must find a way to be unique without running these crazy offers. It's going to actually serve you by not running these offers. And then two, you need to build trust because prospects have been burnt because we're in offer fatigue. And you must build trust in you and your process, your solution. If I try to sell Facebook ads and they tried Facebook ads in the past, because we're in offer fatigue, it will not work with your market, okay? And guys, I want you to imagine, like, do you really believe, right? When you're seeing like 10 of these different ads right now, right? Do you really believe a prospect sitting down and thinking to themselves, if I can just get one more ad that can guarantee just one extra job, guaranteed and money back, I will sign up as a client. It's like, no, that wasn't the case all along. They don't need a crazier offer, right? They're just looking for a new solution that can solve their problems that they didn't try in the past, so that they can't associate past failures onto, right? And someone that they can trust instead of these crazy offers and crazy guarantees. And if you don't address this now, and you don't actually solve the root problem, the root issue, you will constantly see a high CAC, right? This is the biggest reason why you're seeing a high CAC, high cost per appointment. You're gonna get very skeptical prospects. You're always gonna have to compete on price and guarantees, and it's gonna hurt your profit. You're gonna attract the worst clients. Your sales calls are gonna be low closing rates, and people just comparing you to different agencies, right? And you can go years and years without knowing why you can't get more appointments if you don't fix this, right? And you're never gonna have a lever to pull to consistently get more appointments and more sales. So now that you guys know that the real problem is offer fatigue, how do we go about solving it? So we solve it by using what we call the 7-figure laydown sales funnel. And we specifically designed this so that it can solve the root problem. And what it does is that it uses your already existing results, your social proof, and your experience to position yourself as unique and different from what your market has already tried in the past. And it creates trust in you and your solution, leading to way more leads, way more appointments, way more shows, way more closes, and way more cash because it's solving the real problem for your market, right? And we do that in 3 steps. Step number 1 is that we come up with your unique messaging. Again, you can't stand out with irresistible offers right now because everyone else is doing it, and it's that drown you in the noise. And step number 2 is that you can't get people bought into your solution because they tried it in the past and failed. And so what we need to do is we need to craft a unique messaging that convinces people how we're different and why this time around, if they work with us, and only if they work with us, will they actually solve their problems and get to where they want to go. We need to have that very clear in our messaging. And then we take that, once we build that once, we bleed it into your ads, we bleed it into your setters, we bleed it into your closers. And this is really what gets people bought into our process and wanting to buy from us. And then step number 3, because the market has been burnt by so many inexperienced agency owners, we need to have people trust us. And how do we do that? Social proof and content and authority, right? This is the exact steps that we took for Zach. And the unique benefit is that not only will this get you way more appointments, way more sales for way cheaper, it's also going to create what we call a lay down sales effect, which is higher painfuls and people just coming on and buying like crazy, right? Without hard selling. So this is what it looks like when we implement all 3 of those steps. So Zach, you can see right here, he says, with the unique mechanism, it's easier for them to buy into and it's differentiating us a lot more or less like the other companies, like we talked about. And then we bleed it into your ads, your setters, your closers. You can see right here, 12K day, 18K day, 9K deal, 9K deal, without any irresistible offers in a very saturated niche. And then step number 3 is the content. So see right here, we did a webinar and then people just hop on sales calls and they're just bought in. Right now we have Zach's YouTube, there's 10 hours of content. People are going through case studies. They're going through 10 hours of content before hopping on sales call, which again, in this market with offer fatigue, you need to have a way to be able, for people while you're sleeping, to go through content and trust you and like you, okay? Again, it's gonna create a lay down sales effect, right? Every call is super warmed up for Zach, right? That's why we only have 1 setter. We don't even need like a big sales team. All the sales calls are lay down sales because we get the messaging dialed in. Again, these are the effects. Again, we did 55K cash collected month to date. This is literally before his calendar with a guarantee because we just didn't know what the root problem was. And then once we solved the root problem, understanding that it's all for fatigue, no guarantee, and then we're able to close at 39K cash collected in a single week. These are all the results. I don't want to bore you guys, but this is verbatim, again, what he sent me 4 days ago. Right, I think we have a true system scaled to 8 figures and beyond, and we're cracking the code. All right, so if you're an agency owner above 50K a month and you have a great product, if you have a bad product, do not apply. I want to introduce you to this 7-figure lay down sales funnel, and we want to build it within your agency. Now, this is not scarcity. We only have 10 spots, or we will literally die in fulfillment, and we only work with 1 niche. So if you're in Cairo, we can't work with you, right? And so these are going to go quick, and you're probably wondering at this point, well, how do I create my own unique messaging? And how do I use this messaging for my setters, my closers? How do I use the content system so that we're able to have lay down sales effects? Go ahead and book a call. I'll show you how we can do it. I'll even, craft a game plan for you to be able to do it. And for the first 10 people, we'll also show you our webinar framework, which we use to close 10 new clients every single month with your existing database. And it's crazy. Okay, so do not apply if you don't have client results. If you're below 50K a month, do not apply. And if you're in Cairo, do not apply. All right, so if you guys want 20 new clients in the next 90 days without making crazy guarantees and offers, go ahead. There should be a calendar link down below. Click that link, go ahead and book a call, and you'll speak with me personally, and I'll see you guys then.